Okay. Hello, Laura.
Hello, Laura.
Love you meeting you. So I'll just give a little frame who you are and what is your mission on this earth, and how did I met you, and why did I invite you to have this live interview about a very vulnerable and needed topic. So Laura Makele is lean transformational consultant working now in one of the biggest banks in Scandinavia, though we met in one of the aviations companies. I believe it was back like in 2016 or 17, and
Yeah.
we've been through thick and thin, like together designing transformations together, trying to figure out how we can make the C-suite aware about the system as a whole, and yeah, basically connected at that level deeply. So I thought that there is no other better person to give the personal kind of insights about the topic. What does it take to be that holistic, the internal transformational consultant in any type of organization? Because as we know, it can be tiresome, to be in that league alone, and it requires bravery, it requires toughness, I would say, and strong belief. So welcome, Laura, to our show.
Well, thanks a lot for such, I can say, a wonderful introduction part. It's a pleasure for me to be there, really, and I can just really, you know me, I can talk a lot. My first
I
question.
do. I do. But let's start from the very core kind of yeah part. If you could within a couple of minutes provide the biggest gift you receive, or the biggest before and after you transformation you received working with us, how would that sound?
Well, firstly, I can say that I wouldn't be there today with you in this meeting if I hadn't met you before, as you mentioned. And honestly, I can say that I even can't count. It's not enough 10 if you want to count the skills, how many skills I got working with you. And just I can say, you can't find all these things what I have learned in a books. No way. It's a lot of practical things for sure. It's not just that you are reading some theory and then trying to find out how it works practically. But seriously talking, so the skills or looking into my professional side, where I am now, so it was quite a long journey, I can say, with you and everything what I gained, this holistic business approach, understanding companies as a whole system, trying to knit end-to-end process and trying to find in all the process customer voice. It's really, I even now remember several years ago when you said, guys, please step in customer shoes. And this is, this wow or aha moment that I can say leads even now me in my daily work. I apply a lot of good things. And one thing what I would like to see quite to say quite openly, many consultants usually learn to apply lean tools, I can say blindly. Maybe it's brave enough to say this, but without looking in the system as a whole. And that creates, I can say, a massive waste in the companies. On the one hand, it's maybe normal. We all started our lean consultants journey with applying tools, different ones, because we saw this in, lots of companies and then copy pasting to your companies. But you taught me to really to be wise and look at the system holistically, and only then apply whatever you want, how many tools you have in your toolbox, and have this systemic approach first of all. And now I can say I have a capability to guide big C-level teams and accelerate the right change because of the skills you gave me. Just as simple
Sounds
as that.
fantastic. That sounds truly fantastic, Laura. And it's always so rewarding to to grow with our clients together. Because we stepping in any type of system, even though we've been in more than 30 different industries, it's still, it's a massive learning, and we always appreciate so much the trust of people who are choosing us and letting us, in their beautiful systems. And because it is vulnerable, it requires some type of courage to invite someone, in your garden while you've been gardening and doing everything. So thank you so much. And let's deep dive in this topic of today, because you and I, we know that there are many transformational coaches, internal consultants, within processes, within systems, using various methodologies and etc., working within the companies. And I guess it's very different, rather if a company is a small, or if a company is suddenly quite big. So normally the CEO, he or she hires a person like you for certain dreams, certain results they desire, and not very often they do understand the depth of the mindset shift required to reach those results, right? So it's only like in the process we are discovering truly who we are, what our limited beliefs, what we're capable of. And as in the beginning I said, it can feel very lonely for that type of person as internal lean transformation consultant or any other type of coach to kind of cope with all of that journey. How do you do that? Could you share that? Both, I know that there are dark moments of that, right? When you do a lot of things, but nobody sees that, nobody understands that yet. Everybody's questioning, and it requires, there is a delay between the effort and the result. So could you share, how do you cope with that, and what is your internal actually dialogue, with internal Laura, and
what does motivate me?
Yeah.
Or either I'm like kicking the ass for myself each time when I'm doing the work. No, just joking. But you are right saying that there is a dark side. When we talk, it doesn't matter, lean consultants, transformation consultants, all the people who are really working with the change, transformation. Maybe now I have, well, I can't say that a lot of experience, but I guess more than 8 years, it's enough to share the experience. So there is a dark side, and I call as well this side like a loneliness. And if I can draw a picture, it would be like, imagine you're standing in a desert, and there is a huge wind, and this sand is coming in your eyes, and you are trying to open and find the direction, but you are brave enough to go and find the right way. So sometimes as working with the transformation, change, and implementing lean, so you feel like this, just standing alone in this desert. And I guess not all consultants can just honestly and openly say. We all say, and we know we need support from CEO or the manager or C-level managers, who is responsible for this transformation part. That's fine. But usually the practice shows that all these supportive things, nice words, either they are, somewhere in emails. Yes, I support you, go and do, approved. Or somewhere, in a nice slides, especially when you need to present for 10 high-level managers that, look, guys, now we will be implementing lean, blah, 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 with all the stuff, benefits. Everyone is smiling, but you understand inside yourself, but the huge work, not they will be doing, you will be doing. And it can be that you will be alone. So, you really need this support in a real actions. You need to feel that someone is standing behind you. You have this backup, then it's for sure easier. Otherwise, you really need to be, and even this brave, the word brave, it's not enough to say that you need to be brave, but you really need to challenge status quo each at a time.
And I believe, sorry to disrupt you, and I believe that challenge the status quo and know that you can be removed from your job at any moment, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, this is like a leverage, and you are trying always to understand. On the one hand, you can be brave enough and say, look, guys, now I will tell you about the project, what you're offering, and you are inviting me to be a part of this. And sometimes you feel this, that, not they are saying that, look, I need you. I know that you are with a high professional skills and so on, but sometimes you feel that you need to sell their idea for themselves, but, from opposite side.
From another, yeah.
To redesign benefits and so on, and to prove them that, look, guys, this is will be a huge benefit. So your question, how I cope with this, maybe it's, look, in my personal side, that everything what I'm doing, I'm really trying to look into long-term result, not fixing just quick fixes. And for sure you can have a result with a quick fixes or some tools, and but it's not about sustainability. So I'm always trying, to look into the situation with a perspective to look, okay, guys, really, what would we want to achieve in particular project, initiative, or transformation? How it is linked with companies' strategic must-wins. If you can't find anything about transformation, lean, operational excellence, change, whatever what it is, in company strategy, so I am sure your initiatives will die, or you will be alone, and for sure you will stop doing things. Or you will, it's always the fight inside. I'm always feeling like, okay, what to do? You're fighting with your inner beliefs, capabilities, competences, willingness to do, but to do in a right way. And then on the other hand, you have coming requests, and people are paying money for you.
Yeah.
You are working in a company, and you can't sometimes say, oh no, I won't do this. But if you have this luxury sometimes to say no for the projects, or maybe say no, but I will say yes if we will change some things, and you can challenge this, so you are in a lucky position. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, you did. And you just, I think you truly, went somewhere very deep by saying that, you believe so much in what you do, and that you look as well at the system as a whole. You look at long-term, right, approach, and look at that as a long-term time living organism. And at the same time, you allow yourself any type of demand from organization, to be sent to you, and to be heard by you. But at the same time, you are challenging that status quo, so people are not using the effort by creating a wrong thing, right? And this is what normally happens when we apply any type of tools. Not necessarily lean, right? Without understanding the leverages of the system. So I really like that the way you challenge, their requests, and slightly, turn their projections. So you are kind of focusing on the right things rather than on the wrong one. So I really love that. And Laura, another thing is, I've known you for many years, and I know that you, to me, you're one of those highest demanding people. From yourself, you have such a high requirements, and such a high stretch of a word excellence. And I really loved working with you, because I'm basically the same and always seeking for perfection. Why did you choose us to work with you? Because everybody, yes, literally, they understand the value once we got on the train and etc. But what were the criteria for you to choose us rather than others?
First thing, what I can say now, as I mentioned, I'm really trying to seek this long-term result. And I remember when I just started to know more about the lean, yes, we mentioned a lot these lean words, but the topic is about this.
Yeah.
So, I remember all these still theoretical things, lots of Toyota books, all the things, blah, blah, blah. Visited lots of companies, and all these nice, colorful visual boards. And inside, I always was asking myself, is this what company needs? This nice, visual, colorful boards. This is, 5S, where you can, mark everything, what you have in a place, all the stuff. And then I was thinking, but there should be something more, this cultural things, mindset. And just, when I met you, when we started to work, this, what what you taught and how we were working, looking into this holistic management approach. And for me, it was like, Jesus, this was the answer. Why sometimes lots of companies, they really struggle. Honestly, they struggle, but what I feel sometimes not all companies, they are talking quite openly. So for me, why I decided to choose just this way of working, holistic approach, I just, honestly, I can't imagine how you create sustainable value without seeing organization and everything as a whole picture. For me, it's just, for me, it's like nonsense. And sometimes, you can go crazy with these separate things, fixing, firefighting in different level of organizations. Yes, you will reach the result. For what? 1 month, 2 months? And for me, it's waste of time. And so why this holistic business management approach, understanding everything as a whole, seeing big picture, getting right direction, and just, then it's sometimes it's hard to find correct words, that then it's more easier, to apply lots of good methods. And I'm sure that result, usually people are afraid of what kind of result you will bring. For sure, the result will come. When you're doing right things in right direction, the result will come. So the main
inevitably, yeah.
Yeah, the keywords here is this, seeing systematically, holistically, all things, and this approach more, outside in. Just I'm sometimes I'm really going crazy and would like to shout loudly and saying stop, working in silos-based performance. So I just can't, imagine what kind of system. Maybe one day we will find something new, but today this is the right way to this holistic business management approach.
Oh yeah, it's warm, it's lovely to hear.
Yeah.
And I know that there are probably many entrepreneurs and other type of managers listening to us in one or another way, either today or later. And I always kind of seek to embed those right rituals of understanding one's business as the whole system, so they can do that without us every year, every month, every day, every weekend, etc. So if you could share, Laura, if you could imagine that you step in a new company suddenly, internally or externally, and what would be that first thing which you would do together with the CEO to understand the business as a whole, and why would you choose that path rather than the other path?
Well, for me, the first thing, it's always like scan the situation. And it's up to us to decide how we are scanning with good, with good questions as well. You can find lots of answers, but the main thing is like, take the CEO together and look into the process. I mean, imagine that you can have magic glasses for the CEO, holistic glasses.
Holistic glasses, yeah.
Yes, put these glasses and let's see now into your company and find out what you have. Just first of all, I would like together with the CEO to knit, let's call the whole process horizontally. It means just that CEO should name where starts your customer and when you finish giving the service or product for the customer. And sometimes maybe it's a wow effect for CEO, because usually they're saying, okay, I have some responsible people who can do this. No, it's not about them. It's about you, how you understand. Try to knit these small kingdoms, what you have, okay, in one. Still, you will be a king in your company, but let's have one kingdom but knit the process correctly, horizontally, understand everything, and identify the gaps, and just normally say where you see your pain points, where is your headache, why you can't sleep at night. And usually this is quite simple things. At first of all, I fully understand that for such persons as a CEO, it's quite hard to understand why I need to spend time a lot, on what deep diving into supportive functions, because usually business functions, they are bringing
more
money
important. Yeah.
But without understanding the whole picture, and saying we will draw whatever we'll do, draw, map, whatever how we call this, but first of all you need to do this, especially with a CEO. And for me, it's very important part. And if you feel that it's impossible, or you see, a resistance from CEO side, so I can't then imagine that this company will go towards this holistic way, let's call it this. But for me, it's the most important part. And this is like a discipline, looking into this holistic business management. First of all, understand your system as a whole, how it works, and be able to catch the signals and understand how something what is wrong in logistics, for example, can bring an effect, or can influence other parts of organization. You don't need to micromanagement, but still to understand what's going on, where and especially what does your customer need. It's the main important part here. We don't
I think what you just shared, that making an audit, or looking at the organization and kind of mirroring that with the CEO. Every CEO normally will find the consequences of their decisions, of their beliefs in that system, which in one or another way created that mediocre siloed performance, and lack of money at the end, of profit, lack of clients, and lack of kind of this full-hearted culture. So I really enjoy that you have shared this message, that it's essential to do that with the CEO. If the CEO says no, I don't have time, it's just an answer that they are not ready, right? So to any type of change, not necessarily lean change, but normally they always want the company to work for one purpose, with the same goals, with the same energy and dedication. So Laura, our time is flying.
I said that we can talk a lot.
Yeah, we can, and we should do something later on, with maybe some other type of event we will come up in autumn. But I truly enjoyed having you, and talking about what does it take to be that authority as the internal change consultant within a company. I think that many of our listeners got lots of associations and as well values. So thank you one more time for sparing this time for us.
You're welcome. It was really a pleasure for me to share my thoughts here.
Yeah, and I'm sure that in autumn or some other time later we will do something, and we'll invite Laura in one of our events so she can as well guide you guys and embed those same holistic system glasses, and give you the value to look at the system as a whole and actually find those leverage sweet spots so you can make the right changes. So super. Thank you all for listening. I'll say goodbye to Laura.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice evening.